In this video, we're going to talk about greenhouse gases, the defining characteristics of a greenhouse gas, and some examples from the Earth's atmosphere. Now, Earth's atmosphere is made of nitrogen, oxygen, argon, and a mixture of carbon dioxide and some other gases, but mainly nitrogen. So in order to understand greenhouse gases, we're going to be referring to the electromagnetic spectrum. Now, the electromagnetic spectrum is the range of different types of electrical energy. As you can see, visible light is in there. And then to the left, we have IR, which is infrared radiation. To the right, we have ultraviolet. And today I want to focus on the top there where we're talking about the different energy levels. So depending on the frequency or wavelength of an electromagnetic wave, that determines the energy of those electromagnetic waves. And so shorter wavelengths like gamma rays have very high energy, and long wavelengths like long radio waves have very low energy. So molecules and atoms have discrete energy levels, meaning that they can absorb a specific energy. And as we saw in the electromagnetic spectrum, the energy is related to the wavelength of the electromagnetic energy. So there are particular wavelengths that get absorbed by particular molecules. Once a molecule absorbs that energy, it will be in an excited state. And at some point, it will release that energy. It will be radiation in the same wavelength or the same energy, but the direction will be random. What defines a greenhouse gas? The most important key characteristic of a greenhouse gas is that it's a gas that absorbs and then re-emits infrared radiation. So it absorbs and re-emits from that particular part of the electromagnetic spectrum, being the infrared part of the radiation. On Earth, there are four main greenhouse gases. There are others, but these are kind of the four main ones that we're going to talk about. So we have carbon dioxide, methane, water vapor, and nitrous oxide. So CO2 occurs in natural processes. It's absorbed by plants and absorbed by water, and it's released in the cellular respiration. And then there's also human activities that release carbon dioxide. So burning of fossil fuels, deforestation affects CO2 levels, and then as the oceans get warmer, they can't absorb as much CO2. So those are factors. So there's natural and human activities for CO2. The same is true for methane. So wetlands and soil absorbed, but methane is also released from landfills and certain farming animals and farming processes release methane as well. So water vapor, of course, is part of the water cycle on Earth. The evaporation and the clouds and the rain and all of those things. But water vapor is also released in combustion. And if the temperature of the Earth goes up, then there's more evaporation. So there's more water vapor in the atmosphere. And lastly, we have nitrous oxide, which again is part of natural processes, but is also a major component of fertilizer production and is also partially released in combustion of fossil fuels and things like that. So in summary, the main thing you want to remember from this video is that greenhouse gases absorb and re-emit infrared radiation. That's the key of this video. There are four main greenhouse gases, and there are natural and human activities that cause those greenhouse gases to be produced.